to achieving, greater success in life.
Personal goals or maybe your personal journey that you might be having. Yes, I'm a doctor.
One advice you like to give them to elevate or to upgrade themselves.
Specific field, you can have a travel blog of yours and, get your audience.
How has networking really played a role, and what has been your mantra?
Build your network eventually, even if you're from a customer service or any other kind of a role.
How do you think a female can network within the corporate?
Then you will eventually have to create your own set of network. Otherwise, it really, you will be the one who will face difficulty.
Academic background as well. You're a Miranda College graduate.
Really build yourself and do your best. It takes time.
क्या है फिर राखी का passion?
Personally, I told you, I like, traveling a lot. I like cooking.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Fair Unfair Life podcast 2026. मैं जुड़ी हूँ आज मोनिका के साथ और with a very esteemed guest राखी बसु. And आज का एपिसोड बहुत ही ज़्यादा खास है. साल का पहला एपिसोड हम शूट कर रहे हैं और हम इसे शूट कर रहे हैं दिल्ली में एक स्टूडियो से. आपने हमेशा हमें देखा है कि हम ऑनलाइन शूट करते हैं क्योंकि मोनिका जो है वो है मुंबई में रहती हैं और मैं यूके में रहती हूँ. सो इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर अस कि हम हर बार एक एपिसोड शूट करने के लिए मिल सकें. बट इस बार मैं छुट्टी मनाने आई थी दिल्ली में एंड वी चैनलाइज दिस एंड दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी टू क्रिएट दिस लवली सेटअप एंड स्पीक विद दिस अमेजिंग गेस्ट. पहले आई थिंक हम डिस्कस करते हैं कि आज हम क्यों जुड़े हैं, क्योंकि एज अ वुमन एंड एज एनी वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल कई बार बहुत मेहनत करते हैं, राइट? बट वी बिलीव दैट वी डोंट गेट द रिकग्निशन. When we see somebody, one of our leaders who's winning an award, we think like, oh my God, what is it that they do?
I feel jealous.
That we haven't been doing. Like, how do I get there? What do I need to do? Is there a magic pill that will get me there? आज जो हमारी guest हैं, राखी बसु जी, she is the perfect person to tell us about this because she is the head influencer marketing and she is also a global power leader by White Page International, recognized in 2024. And not just that, but a lot more awards that you should check on her LinkedIn profile.
Wow.
And I think it is very important that you stay with us till the end because we're not just covering her blueprint of how she got to where she got to, but we're discovering a lot more about her journey. So hi, Rakhee. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Kriti?
Absolutely brilliant. We just want to welcome you because you're our first podcast guest. We're getting to shoot in a face-to-face environment. So congratulations to us and to you. And thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you. I'm humbled, that you've called me.
Thank you, Rakhee.
And I look forward to doing more podcasts with you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So Rakhee, our very first question is, how do you think the awards happened? Like, is that something you had in your vision board, in your goals? Did you always want that to happen?
See, I never had that in my vision board that, I need to get an award. A lot of things in your life evolve. You think of something and sometimes you become something else. Okay. So I just wanted to give you a small example, as a small kid and, as I grew up, my parents always wanted me to become an IRS officer. But I did my MBA and I landed up in a corporate job. But what I felt in all these 25 years of experience in my corporate life is it's very important for you to build a career and within the organization, evolve yourself. First, you need to get recognized within the organization. That is imperative. And then the awards can happen. First, recognition has to happen within the organization, which happened for me. I did good work and my organizations kept recognizing me. And then the trigger came that, Now I've got organization recognition. Let me also look out what more I can do. And these awards came in. And there was the biggest trigger which I always had because my dad was a presidential award winner. So, that always triggered me that I have to look up to his standards and do something. Though I still feel that as compared to what he's done, I've done nothing, and there's miles to go. I have to do a lot of things, but definitely that's always a trigger point, and I feel that I have to do my best and keep doing till the end. So that's how the awards happened, and the external awards, it was more to do with the organizations came and they had seen my work, and I applied for it. There were a lot of questions that what kind of roles you've done. But if you see my career journey, I started from a telecom, VAS, value added services background, and then I evolved and I moved to digital marketing. So in my career path also, there were a lot of milestones which happened, and because of that, maybe I got the recognition, and I also became a speaker in many of the sessions. So I think this journey just evolves and you just keep doing things.
I'm hearing a person who is definitely inspired by the people around them. Very, very congratulations to your father for achieving such a prestigious award. And then there is also this person who is not afraid to take risks, to take different paths to achieving greater success in life. So what does achievement really look like to you?
So achievement, it will be a different definition. I mean, for you, achievement could be something else. For me, it could be something else. Now, and in a career journey, it is not always about that the work that you're doing, and if you're getting recognized in that, that's an achievement. That could be one milestone of yours, that yes, I am a sales professional, or I'm a digital marketer, or blah blah, I'm a doctor, and whatever work I'm doing, that's an XYZ way of saying that this is what I want to do, and this is my achievement ground, and I'm excelling in that. But as a human being, you would also have certain personal goals, or maybe your personal journey. Yes, I'm a doctor. At the same time, I like doing a lot of charitable work also. Or maybe as a passion, I want to be a travel blogger. So, I mean, you also need to set a balance between your personal passion and professionally what you do. So I always have this in my mind that, whatever I do in my professional space, which I love, but at the same time, I also keep a balance check on what I'm doing personally. What is my personal goal or ambition? Whatever I like. For example, I like to do some kind of work with NGO, or, helping people out, and, a little charitable work, which I love doing, and I keep doing on that. I like teaching, or I like doing public speaking, which I keep doing, so that, the passion is balanced. Yeah. So it's very important that you balance yourself. Otherwise, you will feel that it's a clutter. And that is what brings happiness also.
Thank you so much. That makes a lot of sense about upgrading yourself. For example, in people who are in digital marketing, one advice you like to give them to elevate or to upgrade themselves?
I'll give you an example. If you are a travel blogger, in that case, initial years you can join an organization which is the travel industry. After that, you can have a travel blog of yours and get your audience, and then getting awards, and within the organization, once you are recognized. If you have any other specifics, you want to upgrade yourself as a blogger, you should do a lot of AI and technology, whatever is coming in.
Thank you so much. And you said that you have been working in corporate for last 25 years, and me and Krati, we are also linked to corporate world. And from you, would like to know what has been the difference then and now.
So I think there's a lot of change. Years back, when we started our career journey, there was no digital. Now with the digital evolution, everything has changed, and people were very stuck on with their kind of work at that point of time. If A was doing A, they were stuck to that A, and nobody was much thinking about upgrading themselves. But now it is at this point of time, when the digital has come in, I think everybody wants to learn new things. We also, we feel that, oh, this is the new technology. Let's see, what is it? What is it going to do with us? This is the kind of content that's getting created. For example, I lead an influencer marketing business. So I always keep saying that, what the creators are doing, what kind of content is working, what are brands looking at. So you have to continuously upgrade yourself. If you do not upgrade yourself, you will not be able to sustain in this industry. So that kind of competition, I think, was not there 25 years back. And things have really changed. But there are a lot of good things which have happened with the digital evolution. I think more jobs, the economy is opened up, and a lot of new things to do. So today, I mean, there are more options that were available previously. Yeah.
So I think, Rakhee, there are a few other things that I also see as a difference. One of them is, with the digitalization, we see that there is a lot more of a person putting them out, right? As a professional, each one of us probably has a presence on, let's say, LinkedIn. Similarly, I think I hear this thing, go and network. That's another thing that people talk about a lot.
Very true.
And so in your journey of being a professional and achieving heights like you have, how has networking really played a role, and what has been your mantra to networking?
So I think, since I am from the sales background, and always in my career path, mostly since I started, I was into sales. So networking is part of sales. You have to have a network. That's how the revenues come in and build in. And it just evolved and happened for me. So it's not that I deliberately want to get connected with X or Y. So because my role was such, I got networked. But then I have a personal mantra that I just don't want to network with people who are just from my background. So I try to network with people from all kinds of segments, and people do come in, and that's how my LinkedIn also has got built in. And I stay connected with people whom I like. And that's it. I mean, you build your network, which evolves. You automatically, this will happen. So it's not that you deliberately have to do. Maybe for a person who's non-sales, it will not happen that fast.
Yeah.
But you will have to build your network eventually, even if you're from a customer service or any other kind of a role, or you're a creator, or you can be a technology person. You eventually have to meet. But then don't restrict yourself that I am an engineer, I just want to get connected with those technology experts, or I am a sales guy, let me get connected with the CMOs of the world. It should not be that way. You have to be networking across all segments, and the segments which interest you. And accordingly then think that now, as beyond my profession, what do I want to do?
Because पहले तो यही होता था नेटवर्किंग में, और मुझे लगता है अभी भी the thing is going on where people like to network only with their own kind of people. This thing is even leading to another question is, लड़के तो कर लेते हैं, males, they are very easily they are able to establish network. Females को issue हो जाता है in networking. There could be many other ways, there could be many reasons, and their own very valid reason. लेकिन how do you think a female can network within the corporate? Because networking is only not knowing people, it always it even pushes you, highlights your good things and gives you more opportunity. So females ke liye, what would you like to?
So I think, be open and, meet people. And if you need to seek help also, or want to build up a community of your own, like there are 10 or 15 set of people whom you think are good for networking, create a group and start interacting and seek help wherever required. For example, I mean, if Krati is there, and Krati is a technology person, and she feels that she wants to do something in sales or wants to build up something, I mean, she can connect with me and she can seek out for help. And that's how the network builds in. So
Absolutely.
you should not be closed as females that I don't want to network with X people or Y people. That theory doesn't work. Even within your organization, you can start small. Within the organization, there'll be club of people whom you want to, maybe interact with, and you'll see generally females just bonding with those set of
Absolutely,
people.
absolutely.
It doesn't work. You should look out for
Yeah.
larger groups. But I think their organizations help when they have these conferences and all, when you start meeting people. So it is also an inherent and inbuilt quality. A lot of people are, it's not just about females. I've seen males also that a lot of them are introvert and they don't want to mix. But unless you mingle with people or you gel.
Do you think networking is very important and key factor in a person's life, at least in corporate world?
I was about to ask a similar question to say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, if you were to rate networking in networking's role in a person's growth, where would you rate that?
It's very important. I think it will be somewhere close to 8 to 9, I would say. You have to network. If you don't network in a corporate world, then it's no use. Because eventually, in your journey, there'll be a lot of things which you will get through your networking only. And it's not just about your LinkedIn network. It is about your own organization. You have to network with people. You have to build good relationships so that you can get work out of people. You cannot just sit in your table and do your work.
Agreed.
And they say your network is your net worth nowadays, because the more you mingle, the more you go out and speak to people and understand more things from them. Opportunity actually opens up, hai na, Krati?
Absolutely. I think there was one of my managers who used to say, I've never had lunch with a group of people more than 5 times in my life. So she said, I willingly went and I sat in the cafeteria with a new set of people. I said, can I join you for lunch? And most of the time, nobody sent me away.
Right.
And so that's how she built her presence. And she's a very successful leader now. So I think it takes a little bit of courage.
Yes,
But it's
definitely.
absolutely doable.
Yes.
And some good, easy ways to find and to start networking is, like you said, passion. Because when you are talking about professional, you still think about some constraints in your mind. But when you're talking about passion, you're talking from heart, you can be open.
Absolutely.
And being open is the best way to start a relationship with somebody. So I think that is one great, takeaway for our listeners. I think when we were discussing previously, you were talking about was building your portfolio. And clearly you've started from being a VAS engineer and a salesperson, and then to digital marketing. You have a great, academic background as well. You're a Miranda College graduate. So tell me a little bit about how did you go about building this portfolio, or how can you advise somebody who's listening to this podcast to build a portfolio that really helps them get the recognition or help them grow in their careers, basically?
So, you know what? I mean, when you start your career, obviously keep something in your mind that, 5 years down the line, where do you want to head towards?
Yeah.
That's very important. But the first motto should be when you join an organization is to excel there. Whatever portfolio you choose and you do the best work. Because then in the event and in the course, you will see that you are getting recognized within the organization. Once you get recognized within the organization, then by that time your network also would have built up. You should look at synergies outside and what could be done and how you could get recognized with the support of your organization. And that is very important. So it's not about getting an award outside the organization. If you get recognized within the organization, it's also a feel good factor. But for that, you have to do a lot of hard work and really build yourself and do your best. It takes time. I mean, it will not happen that in the first 5 years, 6 years of your career, you're getting some award. There are very few lucky people who get that.
Yeah.
So you really have to slog, and after that, then your time will come.
I think it's true. I mean, diamond was once a piece of coal, as they say. So you have to go through that process. And I know you've taken some risks, moved careers, for example. Like, how has that been helpful for you? Because I'm quite similar in my career journey. And sometimes when I look at my resume, it's like, oh my God, I've got a lot of breadth, but probably not depth. So sometimes I'm like, maybe having a depth about one thing is great. What do you think works?
So I think for me, it evolved in such a way. I started with Vodafone. And then after many, many years working with Vodafone in different profiles, then I moved to another organization and I started selling content. A couple of years there, and then I moved to the media industry. That's how it happened for me. There also I was doing telecom content selling, and then I moved to different profiles. Luckily, people were very supportive and I got different roles to manage and do. But I also had a passion that whatever I was given, I tried to give in my best. For others also, I feel if you do not get an opportunity and you're working on an XYZ portfolio and you really excelled in that, beyond a certain point of time, you could yourself ask for some other roles. So that's how you can evolve and grow. And in the course, as you grow within your organization or you change your organizations, your time, whenever it will strike, you will definitely be recognized for your work. So,
yeah. I think what I'm also hearing from you is you should keep on demonstrating the value that you're bringing to the table. So while you're taking up assignments, it's also important that you're also delivering the outcomes that are required of that, and that should create a lot of great opportunity. Because I've seen in my experience as well that managers do take notice. It's not like they don't. If the manager wouldn't, somebody else across your network will.
Sure.
Right? So I think it's great to show up. Sorry, Monica. मैं बोलती चली जा रही हूँ.
नहीं बिल्कुल continue, because I was just observing Rakhee, and मेरे को ये मौका मिला, ये लम्हे मिले to observe even Rakhee, that when she was having a conversation and when she was trying to explain, she was very clear what she was talking, what she was thinking. So what are these practices which keeps you focused in a conversation? Because sometimes maybe ऐसा कितनी बार होता है कि बात हो रही होती है और दिमाग कहीं और चला जाता है. What is that you keep practicing, and what are these habits which makes you so calm and composed and so focused and so
basically I try to live in the present, and if today I've come here for a podcast show, then my focus is here, that I have to give my 100% here. So that is very important, that whatever work you do, try to give your 100%. That's the focus, and manifest that good things will happen to you. I'm sure if you manifest good things and good for others, good will eventually come back.
That's so beautiful.
Are you a spiritual person? Rakhee?
I'm a very spiritual person.
Do you meditate?
At times when I get time, it's not regular, but yes, I do try to meditate.
So what does spirituality mean to you? Like, is it more mindfulness, being in the present, like you said?
I think it's more mindfulness, being in the present, and giving your best. So it's eventually, it's your karma. So at the end of the day, you have to keep your karmas clear, and you just, whatever you're doing, just give your best. That's the only thing.
Because in the entire conversation, I never saw you complaining. I never heard you saying that the thing was very tough. You said that, it's very smooth.
It was journey. Tough. So I'm saying that the journey was very hard.
The journey was definitely tough, but your actions were just not, outburst of a thing which is happening in life. What I hear, what I understand. So that takes a lot of courage. That takes a lot of understanding about self, and how in these scenarios, especially as Krati mentioned that you have been working from industry to industry, how still you have been keeping the stress level under control and still following your passion.
I'll tell you, really, it happens. When you manifest that, yes, today I want to do this, at times it happens. I try to do an indirect help or whatever way, the best way that I can do. And if you ask me in terms of my career also, I mean, there's been a lot of portfolio changes and learning new things, new challenges you have to accept. All that happened. It created a lot of clutter, everything. But something kept moving in me that, no, if I've taken something, I cannot let people down, and, I have to do this. And, I've tried to give my best.
So was that your environment, a child?
I was saying
question.
Vibing together.
So, what was it being so calm and composed and still striving to your goals and achieving something in your life, such beautiful recognition? ये क्या बचपन का environment था which pushed you कि भाई करना है मुझे आगे ही बढ़ना है and I really want to leave a mark. And
So, as a child, like my dad was an IRS. So, from the very childhood, he was in a transferable job. So, we were shifting from one city to the other city. And I made a lot of friends who were all not Bengalis, non Bengali friends. Very Cosmo environment we were brought up in. But my dad, we were just two siblings. So, my dad was never into this that, you're a girl or a boy. He never differentiated. And he always said that you have to build up your career. So, and I always used to look up to him that he's so strong and how well he's doing his work. He was very, very hardworking. So I used to look up to him. And when I completed my public relations management, it just happened that the campus guys from the Hutch, they came in and they hired, we were 2-3 people selected. It happened for me. And I just decided that, okay, let me start my career where my parents never wanted me. They wanted that I should do my full-time MBA or sit for an IAS or become a bureaucrat or something like that. But I always had that passion. Oh, no. I want to become financially independent and, let me do my own thing. And I started doing my work. And then the journey evolved itself. Maybe after a couple of years when I thought that now I have to do my MBA because I was so used to working and I loved the environment where I was working. So I said that why not do a part-time MBA when, my family was telling do a full-time and leave your job. My bosses were very supportive at that point of time. And it happened in such a way that it took me to the direction of become financially independent. And that's how it just evolved for me. But yes, the environment in my home, in my larger family was, everybody was very studious and, you look up to people and you see that, I want to become something like them. And that's how the passion, happened and I just did it. And I'll give you another example. As a kid, it was not just about studies in my house. So when I was a kid, hardly I was in KG and I used to dance Kathak.
wow.
Because we were living in a city like Allahabad and in UP, Kathak is very known dance. So my mother put me in a Kathak school that you have to learn dance and I learned Kathak there. Then when we shifted to Kolkata, I did a diploma in dancing. But I could not pursue my dance career because obviously now it's my corporate career. But I'm saying that, my family was not that you just have to study. They wanted me to do whatever I feel like. So I was an extrovert person from the very beginning. And that's how, as I always say that what is your passion? And what is your career journey? Maybe it's not matching at times, but you have to keep a balance
correct.
of both.
आपने ना एक बात बोली राखी और जो मैं बड़ी इत्तेफाक करती हूँ उस बात से ट्रांसफरेबल जॉब इनफैक्ट माय फादर आल्सो हैड एन ट्रांसफरेबल जॉब तो मैंने ये देखा है हमेशा कि जो ट्रांसफरेबल जॉब होता है और आप हर जगह जगह जाते हैं भांत भांत के लोगों से मिलते हैं अलग अलग कल्चरल लोगों से आपका संपर्क होता है एंड आपकी जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है और जो आपकी समझ होती है वो थोड़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती है.
Definitely.
Do you also agree to that?
Yes. And you don't have the typical mindset that I am from Bengal and I will just have
correct.
Bengali friends because you eventually land up meeting so many people. So till today, I have very few Bengali friends. I have people from all cultures who are my friends. So I never had that. Neither my family had that. So that's how we were brought up. And I think that makes a lot of difference because you become open.
Yeah, you know so many things without even starting because मैं कुछ शेयर करना चाहूँगी. When I come from a Brahmin family, मैं बनारस की हूँ. I traveled the entire north belt, लखनऊ, भोपाल and मध्य प्रदेश भी गई and all those stuff. फिर मैं बॉम्बे आई and बॉम्बे तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा कल्चरल डिफरेंस था बट वहाँ पे मैं ज़ोरास्ट्रियन फ्रेंड से मिली पारसी फ्रेंड से मिली आई अडेप्टेड देयर लिटिल बिट ऑफ कल्चर डूइंग मुश्किल आसान जी जितना संभव हो सके जो एक बाउंड्री थी ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग कल्चर थोड़ी और एक्सपैंड होती है थोड़ा टॉलरेंस लेवल भी बढ़ जाता है उनके प्रति एंड यू ग्रो एज अ पर्सन सो आई फील दैट मेक्स लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस.
Absolutely does. I mean, I have had a lot of friends like that, and they've always been very lovely personalities, very different. And I think being extrovert comes to them because
Right.
इतना environment change होता है कि
True,
आप वो करते हैं ना.
true.
I think मेरे बच्चों से तुम पूछोगे तो वो ये बोलेंगे कि हमारी मम्मी का और पापा का ट्रांसफरेबल जॉब है क्योंकि ये हर 2 साल में कहीं और चले
चले
जाते
जाते
हैं. Although that's not the nature of our job,
नहीं, पर
but that's
कृति,
how
वो-
we've somehow
पर कृति वो भी
been.
कितना अच्छा रहा है, बिकॉज कृति का भी चेंज बहुत ज्यादा
True.
डिफरेंट रहा है. मैं स्टेट टू कंट्रीज पे गई हैं
True.
एंड कॉन्टिनेंट पे बच्चों का जो एक्सपोजर होता है और जो
वो बहुत
इंडिविजुअल
फर्क
का
पड़
एक्सपोजर,
जाता
बिल्कुल. हम आपके अंत पे आते हैं और कुछ अच्छा एक सवाल से खत्म. कॉर्पोरेट जर्नी तो आपकी एक ना एक दिन उसका एक लिमिट होती है, टाइमलाइन होती है, इट कम्स टू एन एंड. उसके बाद क्या सोचा है? व्हाट आर योर रिटायरमेंट प्लान, या रिटायर होंगी कि नहीं होंगी?
I think, I follow the Japanese theories. Retirement is just a word. I think you should never retire till the end. You should keep working.
Brilliant.
I haven't thought through that what I'm going to do post my retirement, but definitely what I do currently, there could be an extension of that, or it could be my passion, but it'll be a combination of both. But definitely there's no word called retirement. You have to work
Beautiful.
till the end, and you need to make a mark in this world.
तो इस बात से 2 सवाल निकलते हैं. एक तो आपने बोला जापानीज थ्योरी, तो प्लीज बताएं हमारे दर्शकों को क्या है ये जापानीज थ्योरी. प्लीज बताएं किसको फॉलो.
I mean, live for the day, live in the
Right,
present,
right,
and
correct.
follow your passion. I think that is the theory, and do whatever, do it with your best thoughts, and keep moving.
दूसरा सवाल तो क्या है फिर राखी का? What is
My passion is, as I said, see, what I'm doing is definitely my passion, and professionally, and personally, I like traveling, cooking.
Really?
Yes. So you can
But
come to my
I'll
house
make
for Bengali food.
Rasgullas.
Oh my God.
No.
Rakhee,
I
wait, she's not
I
giving
can
you.
cook some good fish for you, and
Lovely.
you can have it. And barring that, as I told you, I like to do a lot of charitable work.
Beautiful.
It's been a great discussion. It's been a great learning session, actually, Rakhee. Learning from the best, from people filled with passion, looking up, learning from their environment, trying to put their best foot forward. You've really taken your life journey one thing at a time, being in the present. You've actually taken up any challenge that's been thrown at you, and created a mark in the world that you're proud of. When I was looking at your LinkedIn profile, and it's like global leader, awarded, and I was like, oh my God, I definitely need to speak to this person. I need to understand how did she do this? And today you've actually shared that roadmap with us कि आप कैसे कर सकते हो. I think मेरे को कोई खास ऐसी pill नहीं दिखी. There's no magic pill that I learned from you, but it's just about being consistent,
Right.
and putting your best foot forward, being curious to learn, है ना. Risk लो, करते जाओ, and दुनिया देखेगी. So काम करना नहीं छोड़ना है, अपने passion को नहीं forget करना है. And I think those are some of the great
Absolutely.
takeaways for me.
Absolutely.
Wonderful having this conversation with you, Rakhee. Thank you so much for sharing this space today.
Thank you so much.
I'm humbled that you guys have called me here. But what I can only say, my last words, do your best. God will do the rest.
If you like this episode, please leave us a comment, subscribe to our channel, and share with at least one more person who can benefit from it, because we believe in changing lives one person at a time. Thank you for watching the Fair Unfair Life podcast.
Krati, Monica, it was a pleasure being with you at your podcast show. I think Fair Unfair podcast show that you have. I wish all the best for many more shoots that you will have, and many more people that you will cover. It's been an honor. It's my first podcast with you guys, so I'm sure we would want it to be successful, and many more accolades to you guys.
Thank you
all
so
the
much.
best. Lots of love.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.